friends, Ryan Aho here from the One to Go Show, bringing you another installment of the BuyRaceShirts.com One to Go Show Mod 4 Power Rankings. Now, before we do, let's give a little shout out, right? I've been a little kind of beating this guy up a little bit, but Dean Larson parking in Victory Lane in the state of Minnesota, up at the home of the Chicken Shack. So 13 on the year. Remember, it's a race to 20. He's 13 in the book, 7 to go. A lot of time for a lot of drivers to kind of match him. He got a good start. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. So only 4 Mod 4 races this weekend. Not a lot of racing happened in the Mod 4s, but let's do this. Let's jump into the top 10, right? The BuyRaceShirts.com One to Go Show Power Rankings. BuyRaceShirts.com. If you need hats, shirts, hoodies, apparel, right? If you need stuff for your race team, your sponsors, clubs, you name it, go to BuyRaceShirts.com. Great quality at great prices. 4 racers, buy racers. At number 10, we're going to stick with this guy out in Gillette, Brady Taylor. 3 races, a couple podiums, and a win. Now, he didn't race this week. There's not a lot of racing happen this week, but one of the drivers that has kept Dean Larson out of Victory Lane when he made his trips west, Brady Taylor's going to win some races. At number 9, we're going to go with Dave Slovic here from Elk River, Minnesota. 7 races, 4 podiums, and 2 wins on the year. This week, he got second. He was runner-up at the North Central Speedway in Brainerd, has yet to finish outside of the top 5. Super consistent guy. I have a feeling he's going to start stacking some wins. He's always in the conversation. We got Slovic there at number 9. At number 8, Casper, Wyoming driver, Jeff Kittle. 9 races, 7 podiums, and a win. He did not race this week. Again, not a lot of racing happened in the Mod 4s, but the only 2 off the podium was a 4th place finish, so almost in a DNF. So Kittle at number 8. At number 7, we're going to put in the XL1, Chad Funt, Hillman, Minnesota driver. He got second, runner-up over at the Princeton Speedway. Going to talk a little bit more about that race in a minute. She was a rough one. She was a Donnybrook out there, right? So Chad Funt in at number 7, got a pair of wins on the year, 7 podiums and 13 tries. So consistently running towards the front of the pack. At number 6, Bob Holmquist from Millbank, South Dakota. 3rd at Ogilvie this week and DNF at Princeton. I don't remember if he got caught up in that melee or if he just had other issues. But 14 races, 6 podium, kind of not on the podium. He's kind of feast or famine. He's either right in the front or he's kind of flailing around, issues going on in the back. But he does have 3 wins on the season. Holmquist at number 6. Now let's jump into the top 5. Number 5, the 7L driver from Candy, Ahoy. This is Tyler Larson. So I'm a big Tyler Larson fan. Wilmer's one of my favorite tracks. I made a lot of trips down there in the super stock days. That's kind of his stomping grounds. This week, he got runner-up spot over at the Big O, Ogilvie Speedway, Ogilvie Raceway, I guess it is. But 7 shows, 5 podiums, and 2 wins. Doesn't race quite as much as some of these other guys. I'd love to see him race more, but I'm sure he would if somebody started maybe paying him more to do so. I get it. I'd have a car if it was cheap too. So let's jump to number 4, the TD81. We're going to put him at 4. Clear Lake, Minnesota's Tommy Bowden. So this week, DNF at Princeton. Seems to be a trend. A lot of those this week, but he did win. He was the winner at the North Central Speedway up in Brainerd. Cliff Sasker's country up there. He's kind of the promoter at Princeton as well. But his issue's winning, right? 15 shows, over half of them shows, 8, in fact, have been on the podium, but only 2 wins. Now, I said at the beginning of the year, I see this TB81 kind of trending up. I think he's going to start stacking wins here, kind of making me a liar right now. So he's got only 2, but we'll see if he can start rolling a little bit more in that TB81. At number 3, second-generation driver here, Tommy Pagonis. So this week, he was a winner over at Princeton. I don't know what happened in Ogilvie. Did not start the feature. I'm not sure what happened there. I did not get a chance to talk to him or his dad. But 4 wins on the year. 10 of 15 have been on the podium. 1 doesn't even count because he got out on the racetrack late because they had issues. But 4 in Victory Lane. So Tommy Pagonis, 4 down, 16 to go if you want to be in that conversation for a national championship. At number 3, or at number 2, the Silver Bullet, Dean Larson. Pennock, Minnesota driver, former national champion, 21 shows, 16 on the podium, 13 wins. He did win in the state of Minnesota this week. He got it done in Bemidji, so congratulations to him on that. But I tell you what, he's got a big head start, maybe getting in the head of some of these drivers going, man, he's going to get to 20. What do we do? Well, you also got to get to 20, right? We've seen that happen in other WISSOTA classes where the drivers racing for the national championship got to the max number of wins. Then it comes to show points after that. So get her done. Start winning races if you want to catch up to the Silver Bullet. Now let's jump into the number 1 driver of the week. And before we do, a little shout out to our friends at Dirt Race Central, Dan, John, and the whole crew, the official streaming platform of the One to Go show and of WISSOTA Auto Racing. So you're going to want to check that out. If you don't have a subscription to Dirt Race Central, highly recommend you get it because it's fun to go on there, see what you're doing, see what other cars are doing. And you can also, if you're going to a new track, nothing better than jumping online, looking at that video footage from that racetrack, kind of study a little bit so you know what you're up against. At number 1, and I think this driver, if you put them all head to head, I think this is a guy that would still be the number 1 guy, although he had a little hiccup here this weekend. Dustin Holtquist, right? Your reigning national champ. So he got 5th in Princeton, spun out leading. Jerry Noner there, he got stuff tore up in that one. He felt bad. And what does a champion do? They rebound. He rebounded the next night, parked it in victory lane at Ogilvie. That's how championships are won. One bad night, you don't need to string them together, right? You have a bad night, you shake it off, you do what you can, apologize to anybody affected, get back to work, you park it in victory lane. That's exactly what he did. He's got 5. He's the 2nd most winning driver in the Mod 4s right now. There's a lot of season left to get to 20. I think he's going to get there amongst others. It's going to be really interesting in the Mod 4s for the WISSOTA National Championship at the end of the 2023 season. But the number 1 driver right now, Dustin Holtquist.